Where have you been today?
I went to the south side. I was down in Govan Hill. Went down to see the big parade. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, there was a big parade happening.
I saw you put up a post probably a few months back now where you said you couldn't remember the last time you had more than 5 hours sleep in a night. How close are you to getting the 8 hours now?
I'm nowhere near close, man. I still fucking I don't know why. I honestly don't know what it is. Like, I've always been a really light sleeper. Yeah, I just like wake up. Like, once I wake up and I'm up, like, I can't go back to sleep. Like, there's no way.
Is there an optimum number of hours, do you think, for your creativity?
I mean, my ideal average is like 7. If I have 7 hours of sleep, that's like, you know.
When was the last time you got 7 hours?
Definitely not last night. I don't even remember, to be honest. I've been a bit busy these days. The way of like waking up, I need to leave the flat, then you leave the flat, and then you come back and it's like 9 p.m. and you're like, oh God, you know. So I don't really know.
Do you have any like routines or rituals that you use to kind of get yourself into the creative space? The creative headspace?
Not really. I mean, I've never really had a structure at all, to be honest. It's more of like, usually I'll get good ideas like at the worst time, you know, like literally like before I'm gonna fall asleep, or like when I'm busy doing something else and I can't like lay it down somewhere. Sadly, that's like when I get a lot of ideas, you know. But yeah, I'm like a no routine man, 100%.
What does a successful day look like for you then, if you don't have a routine?
I guess it depends. I guess it depends what I'm doing and, you know, what... yeah, just whatever, you know, depends on the day, really.
What has inspired you today?
What has inspired me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've felt inspired today at all. Yeah, not really.
What do you think about most in the day that isn't music?
Money, 100%. Like, I think about it all the time. Like, that's my main worry, 100%.
I feel you.
Yeah.
What does a day off look like for you?
Oh, a lot of sitting around, definitely. A lot of video games, films, good food, cooking, definitely. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe if I've got some cash, maybe get a wee takeaway, you know. But yeah, no, there's a lot. I like being in my flat. I like being alone or with like very few people that I like, you know.
Does solitude play quite a big role in your creativity?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely. I mean, like whenever I'm working on stuff, I'm definitely alone, and I've got like, I don't know, I feel like I can really just do what I want, you know, as I'm like, because I don't have any, like, I don't need to worry about anyone or anything, you know, like once I'm in the zone, I'm just in the zone, and I could spend like 6 hours like recording stuff or doing whatever. And yeah, like no one talking to me during it is very important. You know, like I need to be in it, you know.
How would you define the parameters of your comfort zone as a creative?
Well, I need to, I mean, if I'm working by myself, as long as I've got my stuff, then, you know, I'm sound, you know, like I'll just sit and do it. But I don't know, if I'm working with other people, like I need to know that like they want to do what I want to do, and you know, like we're on the same page creatively, and I don't know, yeah, like they need to be sound too, you know.
What do you do if they don't want to do what you want to do?
Well, I mean, I've definitely been there before, you know, and there's like an extent of like compromise that you need to have if you're working with other people. And at the end of the day, you're just working for a common goal. So, you have to compromise. But
when you're working on your own stuff, how quickly will you establish that common goal for yourself? Or the goal in general? Right?
Yeah. To be honest, like, especially like lately, since I put out that other album, I've been like trying to do like something entirely different, like I don't really want to get stuck into doing the same thing. Sorry, what was the question? I just totally blanked there.
The common goal or the goal. At what point do you find that?
Oh yeah. So I really like, I always have like loads, not really loads, but like I've got like some ideas of like things that I want to do, like albums, like vibes basically. So like lately I've got my second album ready, and so when I was doing that, I definitely had like a sound in mind, so yeah.
What physical object is most important to your creative process?
My laptop, 100%. If it wasn't for that, then it doesn't go anywhere. Logic Pro.
When would you say your creativity is at its purest?
Definitely when I'm in there, when I'm in the zone recording my demos, because like when I do demos, they're very detailed. Just like maybe they're like shit takes, like I'll have like maybe like an old guitar take that was sitting there, but like if it encapsulates the vibe of the song and the whole project, then it will do, So definitely when I'm like in there and just doing the thing, like I don't really care if it's wrong or not, like as long as all feels right, then yeah, go for it.
It's interesting to think about that in the context of your debut record, because there's a lot of storytelling going on there.
Yeah.
How do you feel the balance of storytelling and feel kind of presents itself to you, and can that change that balance throughout the process of constructing an idea?
For me, like usually for me the lyrics come later. I most of the time I'll like I like to focus on the music. I like that to be good. And I don't know, like I always put some of my own experiences into it, obviously. But yeah, I don't really know.
Who was the last individual that you worked with that impacted the way that you think about your own creativity?
Probably Chris McCrory. I've been helping him in the studio, or like sometimes when he's got like a session with some bands and he needs a hand, I'll like come along, help him out and stuff. And I was helping him as well to record his stuff, and he helped me record my new stuff. So yeah, I've been doing that for about a year now, and I've definitely learned like so much. It's given me like a totally different, not even a different perspective, but just like, well, a wee bit, but just more, it's more hope than anything, that he's given me.
What do you mean by hope?
I don't know, like, because it's like, I obviously knew of him before I even met him because of Catholic Action and all that, and like having someone that you admire as a musician as well telling you like, yeah, this is really good, like I'd love to like work with you, or like, even just saying like I sent him, he was like, while I was mixing my album, I was sending him mixes all the time, and he was like giving me a hand in that, like, and just telling me it was good, and just that alone is like, whoa, it gives me another perspective,
You mentioned working with him when he's in his studio.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously work with a lot of different groups and artists through that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any parallel or through line rather, that you can pick out between the mindset of an artist and the mindset of a songwriter? Do you see similar traits in those people that kind of cross over?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Artists, like, what do you mean artist? Like,
I just mean artist as in like, yeah, songwriter or, recording artist.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to, obviously, like, I write songs, but I don't like to think of myself as a songwriter, you know, because like that already has like a connotation these days, you know, like if you get presented as a songwriter, people will be like, all right, it's just some sad guy playing like sad acoustic guitar songs, you know, which, to be fair, that's my first fucking album. but yeah, that's what I meant before, you know, like I really want to not stay in that box because it's just boring, you know, like why would you want to do the same thing over and over when there's so many things that you can do? Yeah.
Now that Quiche is coming to an end too, has that changed the way that you think about your solo project in any way?
Yeah, 100%. I just feel like creative control is extremely important, you know, like if you want to push something, you need to, like, there has to be a captain, basically, someone that like is gonna keep the fucking ship like going straight, you know what I mean? So yeah.
You released the debut album a year ago now, but almost a year ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
I remember last time we spoke, we touched upon the themes in it of family and home, kind of through lines throughout the record. How has your relationship to those themes developed and evolved since you recorded this album?
Yeah, well, I mean, with the whole COVID thing and everything, like, you realize, like, you do have to, like, check on your family, you know, and make sure they're cool and make sure they see you, yeah. And, I mean, nothing much has changed in my life, to be honest. I'm more or less in the same place, I feel, you know. Like, a lot has happened, but, like, me as myself, like, I just see myself, like, the same. Even the same as like 5 years ago, to be honest. I feel like I'm 20. I'm never going to grow up.
You know? How has your songwriting changed over those 5 years though?
Oh yeah, I mean, just like especially technically, just like working like Logic and whatever. And my own like musical abilities have like improved as well. So yeah, it's just a marathon, innit? Just keep learning and keep doing.
Do you think that your musical instincts are more driven by logic or more driven by emotion?
Emotion, 100%. Yeah, like most... See how I was saying, like, lyrics always come later? Like, lyrics always come from an emotional state of mind. Like, I will write, like, I have tried to write, like, random wee songs when I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to write a song, and then I just write some random shit. But the good ones are always from, like, a moment, like, something's happened, and I've been like, oh, God, and I'm, like, really thinking about it, and it just, you know, click, and it comes.
How quickly can you hold on to that moment? Sorry, for how long can you hold on to that moment?
I guess it depends. Depends on the moment of the day. I mean, usually it's at night. I don't know what it is about nighttime. It's like a creative time. So you're cheating the system. It's like everyone's asleep and I'm awake. So I can do mad things, you know. I can do witchcraft. But yeah.
When we were touching upon, you know, musical instincts a moment ago, has there ever been a time when you feel like you've lost trust in your instincts? And if so, why? Yeah,
there's loads of times. Yeah, I'll have a week that I'm like, yeah, cool, you know, like things are happening and like everything's cool and that, and then the next week I'm like, I'm terrible, this is terrible, what am I doing, you know? I like, yeah, it's just, and I think every artist is kind of the same, you know, there's like a certain level of like self critique that you're just you have to learn how to sort of deal with it, I guess. Yeah.
Do those periods of self-doubt become easier to overcome with time?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I remember, like, you get to, like, when things, like, just growing up, basically, wow, I'm getting into a fucking rabbit hole here. Like, when you're experiencing, like, bad times and things for the first time, you think it's like, wow, this is, like, the worst shit ever. But, you know, you just get used to things as you grow up, and you're like, yeah, I mean, maybe something will happen, I'll feel a certain way, and I'm like, but wait, like 2 years ago, this happened. It's really similar to what just happened, and you felt this way, and like you're alive, and like it's cool. You know, you just get perspective as you grow older.
Do you seek approval from anyone with your music?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I'm very like self-conscious, definitely. And I mean, I've got like people that I trust. You know, I trust their opinions and I trust their taste, and I trust them. So
you released a Christmas song in January this year.
I did.
Why January?
Because I was like, because I missed it. I'm a fucking idiot. It was very like, again, I wrote it like a few days before Christmas, you know, it was one of them. And I was feeling the pressure of the socials, you know, of the put content out all the time, put content out, do things, you know, otherwise like no one will know, no one will care. So I was like, fuck, I need to fucking record something, like do something, put it out. And yeah, I mean, I didn't get to go home for Christmas last year because of the whole COVID thing. I got really freaked out by the whole situation. So I just decided that it would be best to not go. And that was quite weird. I mean, it's the first Christmas with like away from my family, first Christmas like somewhere not in Spain, you know? So yeah, it was a strange fucking time. So yeah, it was a weird time. And the song happened like really, really late. Like I didn't have time to do it for Christmas. So I was like, oh well, I'll put it out later, you know?
Those feelings you had prior to Christmas, has there ever been another time in your life when you felt things in a similar way?
Not really, to be honest. Like I've never really been in a situation like that before, you know? Like a situation where like you've got like all this shit going on around you, like in the world. I don't really get to see my family. Like I feel like I'm doing something bad, you know, like the whole time I was like, I should be in Spain right now. Like, what am I doing? You know, why am I here? So, yeah.
What are you most grateful for in your life, and has that changed as a result of the last year in any way?
No, my parents, 100%. Yeah, like just my family and like their support, and my friends, obviously, but yeah, mainly my family.
How do you think your parents have most impacted your way of thinking?
Well, I don't know, like, I don't really know, man. My mum's always been very artistic, very musical. And my dad is like the opposite. He's like a businessman, you know? So I've got like, you know, like a bit of both, I think, in me. But I think I'm more like my mum, to be honest. But yeah, I'm in like constant, like, it's like the yin and yang in my brain. I'm just like, and I'm Libra as well. I'm a Libra. So there you go, balance.
What role does spirituality play in your life then?
Yeah, I mean, I said I'm a Libra, you know, like I don't really like follow it. Like
I wouldn't know what that meant though. Like I wouldn't have any idea of the connotations of that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I only read like horoscope stuff for fun, really, just because it's kind of funny. But yeah, I'm not a very properly spiritual person. I don't think I don't have any religious beliefs. If anything, I believe in aliens. That's all. And ghosts. I love ghosts.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No.
Do you ever know someone who has?
Yeah. Why? Many people. But yeah, that maybe is a story for another day. It's a long fucking story. But yeah.
What is your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it? Or biggest mistake? Failure is maybe a little bit negative.
Yeah, that's a bit like, whoa. I don't really know, man. Probably like relationship stuff, really. Like because that's, I mean, no one teaches you that shit, you know, like you have to learn that yourself from experience. So yeah, there's been a couple of intense ones that have definitely taught me some shit, yeah.
Do you feel like you belong in the period in which you were born, in which you exist?
No. Definitely not. Like there's things about our time that I love and that I couldn't live without, but at the same time I think I should have been born in the 60s, you know, lived through 70s, 80s. Man, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously because of like the music and that was amazing and all that, but I don't know. I feel it was like a really, really, really different time. I would have loved to like cut about, see what it's like. Yeah.
Do you take influence from that time in the way that you run your life today?
Probably in the sense of like no routine and like going with the flow, you know, and like seeing what happens. Obviously there's that degree of routine in my life. Like I do have to like go to practice, like work sometimes, you know, but yeah, just a like free spirit, bro. Flower power.
What is the most romantic thing you've ever done?
Oh, I don't know, man. Not sure. I would say write songs, but like I do that all the time anyway, about everyone, really. About like most people that I've had like any romantic, you know, thing with, like something's come out of it.
Have you ever fallen into the trap of romanticizing the, you know, the trope of like the damaged artist?
Yeah, I've actually thought about that. Like, but I don't know. I feel like you need to, because there's always that question of like, what if you don't feel negative things? What if you don't like go through things? Like, where does it come from then? Where does the stories and like the like being relatable, like where'd you get that from? I don't really know. I don't really know what I would do if I was like pure happy and just great all the time, you know. Yeah. I feel it'd be a bit more boring.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.